Hi everyone, this is going to be a tutorial for the triangular corner card, and it's made out of a piece of 21 by 21 card. It's basically an easel card but on a shaped base. It has a couple of magnets that allow it to clip together and stand up like that. So I'll show you some other versions at the end, but let's get on and see what. I'll leave it just on the corner there if I can, and let's see what we need. First of all, we need a sheet of A4 base card. Now on this particular one I used a printed card, but I just wanted to show you that you can do it out of white, and you'll see one of those later in the video. So there we go. So we've got normal 21 centimetre wide card, and we're cutting a square, so we're doing 21 across, 21 down, and that leaves me 8.7 on the end. So we're going to use that, and what I do is I measure off two squares, 8.7 by 8.7, and this is excess, but we will be using it. So what we're going to do, there is my 21 by 21. There is my two pieces that I've cut off the side, and I have the excess there. The other things that we will need is I have taken a piece of card that will match or in white, doesn't matter, and I folded it in half, and I have die cut it with my die, but I have let the die go off the end. So if I do it that way, you can see that the die didn't cut this fold, so that when I open it I have a figure of 8. Now that is going to make me my easel part of my card. So if we take that now, I want to fold it so that it matches around there. So I'm going to fold it up, and I can burnish across there, so when I turn it round you can see there's a complete circle. So that is my mechanism to go inside. So we'll put that to one side. Right, we're going to take our 21 by 21, and I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to take my ruler, and I'm going to measure 10.5 that way, 10.5 that way, turn it round, 10.5 that way, 10.5. Now I am aware that some of you may not have a scoreboard, so I'm showing you this way as well. So if you don't have a scoreboard, I would take my ruler, and it could be a score tool or part of a ballpoint pen that's run out, anything like that, crochet hook, knitting needle, and I'm going to score down to that point there, and then I'm going to score right the way across. I haven't done this lower bit. So if you're going to go on a scoreboard, here's my scoreboard, the right way up, I would be going 10.5 down to the middle and 10.5 across. So that's all done. Now I take my scissors and I'm going to cut up this part here to the middle. There we go. Okay, so we've got a pair of trousers. So what I'm going to do now is to fold this up, and what I want to do is to make sure that I'm matching up these. When you do a scoreboard fold, you're basically scoring 1/8 of an inch, and if it goes to one side or the other, it can be 1/4 of an inch out. So do be careful that you do force that crease to go where you want it. Doesn't matter at the moment which way the score goes. Like that one there is slightly out, so I need to make it go down the middle. So that's going to be the inside of my card, so I'll just do that. It's easier for me to show you on the white side than the pattern side. So there's my basic fold. Now if I turn this round, when I close that, you see that we've got the beginnings of the card. Now the next thing we want to do is a diagonal fold here. So on my scoreboard I put various lines on there, which are the ones I use most of all. So I want to go from, there's my legs, I want to go from the top point to this side point. So I put my top point on a line, the side point on a line, and I score down. I turn it around so I've got the top point on the line there, turn it until that bottom one matches, and score that. Okay, there are my score lines, and I don't want to fold them completely, I just want to give them a little push in the right direction. So there we have our basic card. Right, so what I'm going to do now is decorate it. Now I have these two bits with the two squares that we cut earlier. So I'm going to take one square and I'm going to go from corner to corner. This is not easy if you've got directional card. So I have cut my square into two triangles, and I need to decide now which sort of colour I go round the triangle. I could choose a contrast, but I think on this occasion I'm going to go with white. So I'm just using up some scrap white, and I'm just going to add a small white border all the way round. So there's one. And take this one and put that onto there. that one there is going up in that top corner. There. And this one here is going into the other top corner. There we go. So once again, excuse me, there we go. We've decorated the two corners. That could have been a contrast, it really doesn't matter. So open it out again, and this time I want to concentrate on the second little square, and I'm going to again put white around the edge. Ooh, that's very tight. We can go for it. Yeah, I'm going to go for a small edge all the way round. And we're going to fix that one to our main piece. Now, at the moment, it doesn't matter whether this bit goes across or this bit. It's entirely up to you whether you're right-handed or left-handed as to what you feel easiest doing. I'm going to go for the right-hand one. And when I'm fixing this one, I like to fold that out the way, and then I've got a clear view of placing this piece here. Then we're coming in with this bit, and we're treating this now as a diamond, and we're fixing this one so that this just goes back almost into there. So I'm bringing it forward a little bit, and you can see it touches both of these little bits here. So I'm going to fix that in. So this is our mechanism that we're going to put any decoration on that we want to. So with it the right way, I'm going to put that now onto there. This is my mechanism, but that's firmly fixed into there. You can see that if you were to do it when it was flat, you might very well get this going in the wrong direction. So there we go. Now what I'm going to do, because I'm almost ready to decorate, is I'm going to put the magnets on that hold it together. So I'm going to cut this piece here into two scrap pieces. I'd like to get two pieces of tape on there if I could. So I'll take one off. So I now have that completely covered. And I'm going to just cut it. It doesn't matter whether it's in half I just need 2 pieces. Now, if I close this up here, I like to now put a little mark here, this bottom corner. If I put a mark there, that is where I want to put my magnet. And I want to make sure I go to this corner here as well. So I'm applying this magnet first, and I put a little piece of double-sided tape onto there. Now, when you're using the craft magnets, which have just disappeared, it's like, oh, unfortunately they pick up all the tools. This is my craft magnets, and I need 2 of them, but you can't pull them apart very easily, so slide to off. Okay, so that is my 2 magnets, and they're obviously joined together by the polarity, so I know they're the right way. I'm now going to place the magnet onto there and slide the second one off, and this is my spare card from my A4 sheet, and I'll make sure that's fitted down well. Now put the card together, and I know roughly I'm going to go around there. Don't need to be very precise, because what I'm going to do now is take the second magnet and let it fall where it wants to go. It will exactly match the magnet underneath. And this is my second piece of scrap, and I'm go over the top. That one. So now my magnets are sealed. There's my 2 magnets. When I fold my card, it will clip together with the magnets down here. Now I'm coming to the decoration. Now I've decided on this one, it's going to be a cup of tea, and I've got a teapot. So my teapot is going to go up here, and my teacup and saucer I need to fit on here. So what I've done is I've cut a circle. Right, now what I've done now is to cut myself a contrast, because the cup and saucer didn't show up on the white. And so I'm going to stick that down now with a little matte layer behind it. So that all my colours are tied in. And it's important when you put this on that it goes onto this top section here. So I'm going to put my double-sided tape on there. And then this will go onto there so that none of that white around the back shows. Okay. Now what we're going to do, I'm going to work with my card assembled. So there it is. I've now got my cup and saucer. So I'm going to place a little bit of double-sided on the bottom of the cup and fix that onto my saucer. This was a die that I'd forgotten that I actually had. So that was a nice find in my cupboard. So now I'm going to place my cup of tea on there. Now the actual centre of the cup of tea dropped out, so it was easy to colour that in without making any marks on the outside. And this was it wasn't a die cut. This one I've just cut out from a digital stamp that I found. If you search digital stamp cup and saucer, teapot, you can then use them. So there is my cup of tea. I am going to try and do some like cellophane bits coming out that look as though the water is pouring out. But then all we need next is a little stopper. Okay, so let's have a look at some of the ways of doing stoppers. This was a hunky-dory topper, and it had a small circle on the same sheet. So I've taken that as the stopper to go with that. So the butterflies match there. Right. This then was another hunky-dory topper that was a rectangle. And what I've done is I've just cut a little rectangle out of the rest of this bit. Okay, so there is my bird cage, and again it's fitted with magnets. So I have a bird cage, just a plain bit which I can put a greeting on if I want to. Right, this one I'm going to use in a class, and I've used a spotty background. This hasn't got the matte and layer around, this is just a piece of contrast, and I've cut the figure of 8 out of the contrast, and this was just a picture I picked up off the internet. So I die cut that 10 centimetres. The little scallop die is again 10 centimetres, but it has the extra bit around. And here I've just used a little dome of acrylic. Okay, so lots of different ways of using up your craft stash, but they are lovely, and the magnets are easy to get on the internet. Just make sure you have very thin ones, and be careful that you don't drop them because they do shatter, so be careful where you store them, and they can cause problems for people with a pacemaker. So do be aware, please, of the strength of magnets that you use anywhere on your crafting. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed that, and give it a go. One of the things I needed to add as well was, you might ask, how do I put that in an envelope? The answer is simply open it out, fold that down, and that goes in a DL envelope, and when it opens they simply close it together. And so I only do cards that go into normal envelopes, because you don't want to be trying to handcraft an envelope after you've done all the work onto that. Okay, enjoy.